Hey, Kirsten. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome yes, happy Wednesday. Welcome to another Woo Wednesday. I need to move this. I don't like having to look way over here. I've got my phone on a tripod so I can see you guys on Facebook because I still haven't figured out how to track that. What do you mean? That's not helpful. Let's see. And of course, I think my earpods are gonna die. Damn it. All right. Well, here we go. We're rolling with it. All right. Welcome, everybody, to another Wednesday. Let's just jump right into it today. We're going to take a real deep breath, sending it all the way down into the belly space. And when you're ready, just let it all go. And we take these deep breaths together to settle in together, to ground, to root, and to fully enter this space as one. Inhaling all the way down into the belly, letting your ribs expand and release. And let's do that one more time. All right. So if you are here live, say hello. You know you're live because there's a red box up there that says live. Say hi, tag a friend. If you have a question, throw those in the comments. If anything resonates with you, or if you have something that comes in, a thought, a memory, a vision, you hear something, share those in the comments. When we start to share those, that's what deepens our connection together. And that's what makes all of this work so relatable and so much more powerful for everybody. So today's theme came straight from my own lived experience this week. And it is rooted in a spiral of integration that I did not expect. And it was not neat. It wasn't clean. And sometimes it wasn't even remotely coherent. I've done a lot of like, what the fuck this week. Actually, since my last women's circle, to be honest, I've done a shit ton of what the hell. It's just been all in the best ways. I mean, to be honest, I say what the hell, and a lot of people take that as like potentially like a negative thing. And I say what the hell, like not in a bad way, but like I had a, like the way I described it yesterday was like I'm in a wave pool and the waves just keep coming. Like I hit a wave and I come up for air and then another one comes and smashes me. And that's kind of the swirl of integration that I've been in. And I'm going to guess that many other people are too, just based on what's going on astrology wise, the transition season we're in. I mean, hell, here in Michigan, we're getting all four seasons in 24 hours, and we're getting like intense storms followed by like snow the next day. Really warm weathers followed by a 30-degree temperature drop. So nature is like, this is the work, this is the transition, this is, hey Amy, yes, it's nonstop. Girl, I've seen some of your stuff and wow, yes, it is. We're in that tidal wave. And so that's what I want to focus on today, is settling into this integration season, this integration period. When we come out of winter, we've done a lot of inner reflection, and that inner reflection comes with things that we need to start tuning into and making a part of our everyday life. And this is the opportunity to do that. This is the training wheels came off and we're starting to ride the bike on our own. We're doing that right now. I will preface today, I just heard some thunder. Runa is in the other room watching a movie. I've kind of told her that if she feels scared at any time, she can come in and sit with me. I've asked her to do that quietly. Whether or not she does, we'll see. We had a pretty interesting morning talking about thunder and lightning, and kind of turning that into something that her system, her nervous system, can move with, because I don't know about a lot of you guys, but with the weather uh, events and like the unpredictability of weather, especially when you have things like um, uh, severe weather affecting your home or your life or your livelihood, those things can create trauma in our body, and our nervous systems get ramped up and they go into fight or flight mode. And so I just want to preface that if you at any time during this feel like you need to pull out and ground yourself, please do. Again, you are sovereign. This is your space, your time. It's going to boom and bang here shortly. I can hear it. I can feel it. I can feel the rumbling in the house. Yeah, so just be mindful of that. Take care of your system. I'm going to try to be mindful of that as well. And if I feel the need to pull out, I'll gently pull everybody out of wherever we're at. So yeah, let's jump into this. So since the eclipse, I felt like I've been standing in the eye of a tornado. Like, let's just go with this this weather themed discussion here. And if you think about the eye of a tornado, inside the center, it is pure calm. The sun shines through. But around the center, it is pure fucking chaos. And it is just debris and just stuff swirling around. And you're not in it, but you're watching it, you're observing it. And that has been my life the last couple of weeks. I'm inside of it. And both my ego and my peaceful side, my like intuition, my higher self, they are at the center of this shitstorm of weird stuff happening. And they've been doing this really strange ribbon dance around each other. And it's like, I have socks right in here, so I'm going to just use my socks as an example because I feel like big visuals always help, right? So I took my socks off because my feet were hot. So I have socks in my hand. So it's like if I have two ribbons, this is my ego, this is my higher self. They're doing this around each other and they're dancing, but it's like a lot more pretty than this. Like this is just socks. But imagine that like they're twirling around each other and they're bending, but they're not touching, they're not one. And like the way this functions for me personally is I'll have a reactive thought, like an ego or a victim mindset or a Jesus, this is like, when is it ever going to stop? And then immediately I'll get a grounded response, a grounded answer, a more expansive feeling. And it's like ego, intuition, ego, and they're doing this thing. Is anybody else feeling that right now? Like what's everybody else feeling with this? Because I just feel like this isn't just me. It can't just be me. And it's definitely not graceful, but it's real and it's tender. I've had moments where I've snapped, but then I've had moments where I've navigated it exactly the way I wanted to. And it was very peaceful and it was very floaty. And like, yeah, this is the vibe. I have forgotten how to finish a thought. And in the past, that would have made me be very mean to myself. And it would have made me feel like I was failing or that I was broken. I keep looking over here. My phone's over here. So I'm not like, I'm just checking the chat. I catch my eyes going that way and I'm like, hey, hopefully they don't think I'm like being weird. But yeah, so this often happens after I've had a breakthrough, after I've had an aha. And that's the starting point, right? Integration is the starting point. Or I'm sorry, the aha healing moment is the starting point for integration. The integration is the work. The integration is where all the hard shit happens. And the integration is often what most people want to avoid because it's the hardest fucking part of all of this. It's the hardest part. It's the hard decisions. It's the coming to terms and coming to my headphone keeps beeping at me. There it goes. It's coming to terms with your behaviors, your thoughts, your motives. It's coming to terms with all of that and making the choice. Am I going to keep doing this bullshit or am I going to choose something different? And that is the hardest part of all of this for anybody. And it is the one thing that I am in, like, over the last month, I've had many conversations with people where they've had these healing moments, they've had these journeys, or they've had these connections, either in their own space or in a held space, where they have been led through these breakthroughs, these ahas, these healing moments. And then afterwards, they're like, what the hell? Like they just haven't, they haven't been held and nurtured through the entire cycle. It's like they get to this point and then it's like, okay, figure it out. And I'm not like, I'm very, very quickly realizing that it's my opportunity. I get the opportunity to start helping people through that navigating section after the breakthrough. Yes, I bring the breakthroughs and I can facilitate those, and I can facilitate them on a very powerful level, but it's what happens after that's most important. Hello, Big Boom. It's what happens after. And so that's what it means to be integrating. It's the being able to be at the center of the storm, at the eye of the storm, watching what's going around and going, okay, I see what's happening. And in this moment, do I have the capacity to do something different? Nope. I am burnt out. I am touched out. I am mommed out. I am stressed out. There's lightning now. I am whatevered out, and I just don't have the space or the capacity or the executive functioning anymore to do it. And that's when the big booms happen. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but that's a choice. But sometimes we haven't expanded our container enough to be able to make a different choice. And that's okay. And that's part of the work. But we get to observe and we get to go, oh, okay, I see that that was an opportunity. And I meet that opportunity and I honor where my body and my capacity was in that moment. That is growth. That is integration. The awareness alone is integration. Sometimes that's all we need, is the observer to go, oh, yeah, okay. But then it's the acceptance of it, right? And so throughout this last couple of weeks, it's when I listening to when my body is asking for certain things, like slowing down. I have not been able to put thoughts together. I have, like, it's just been a hot mess, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on? So I've been having to write everything down, and then I've had to, like, thank God for Chat GPT, because I put shit in there and then it like looks for themes and it like combines them all and like summarizes them for me. That has been a huge benefit to me the last 2 weeks. Is I just open up a new chat and I dump stuff in there, and then I'll go, hey, here's what's going on. I'm like, sweet, thanks for being my brain today. But it's recognizing the body cues even when you don't want to. It's being aware. It's honoring exactly where you are, even if it's not the best version or the enlightened version or whatever. And it's being able to recognize, like, I had a moment yesterday where I had a moment yesterday where it was towards the end of the day. I'd been touched out. It just was a whirlwind of a day. We went and saw a new doctor, and like, he's more of a holistic doctor. And I just got bombarded with information for me and Runa. And I got home and I was just like, I just couldn't human anymore. I'm like, this is way beyond what I expected. It's not at all what I expected or what I had, like, what I thought was going to take place. And it's all good, but it just like overwhelming. Right. And so with the overwhelm comes my inability to hold space for anybody else anymore. And so Runa's meltdowns, or Runa was wanting connection and she got up on my lap and she was like getting in my face. And I was like, Runa, I'm having a really hard time right now. I need you to back up. I need you to give me some space. And she ignored it and she kept coming at me. And I felt this anger, this frustration, this, you've crossed my boundary one too many times, get off of me. I felt that rising, and the reactive side of me wants to yell. The reactive side of me wants to be angry, because that's the environment I grew up in. That's my baseline emotion, is anger. And in that moment, instead of that and like thundering, I got up very abruptly, she was sitting on me and I shot up, I stood up and I walked away. And in the process, she fell off of me and I tried to catch her, but I grabbed a pillow. So she ended up falling on the floor from my lap, not intended at all. But I didn't even stop to check on her because Adrian was sitting right there and I just had to like go. I'm out. I can't. And I went into the kitchen and I sat down and I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I can't. But that was integration for me. I chose something different. Did it look pretty? Fuck no. Was it probably the best possible way to do it? Nope. But I chose something different and it was a step in a different direction. That is what I mean by integration. It's those moments that feel so freaking hard that threaten to like disrupt everything within your system. And you go, nope. And I didn't even think to do that. It just happened. My body did it. And afterwards, I was like, why didn't I calmly get up? And my body was like, because we needed a GTFO. We needed to get out right now before you blew up. So my body is now getting to a point where instead of anger being the protector, it wasn't necessarily a flee to like get out of the situation. It was we need space so we can calm our system before we come back to this. And so I've done this enough over the last couple of years to where my system is now, my system, not my brain, my system, my body is now responding differently. That is integration. How is that landing for those that are still watching? Do you guys have any situations like this or anything that comes to mind that's relatable? My cacao got cold. Let's see if this chat's still working. So integration, while you guys type in the chat, integration isn't one moment. It's 1,000 tiny choices. It's embodiment. It's living these things. And it's each choice. When we talk about align yourself with what you want, align yourself, every tiny choice you make, it's either a choice away from what you want or a choice toward what you want. So if you have two paths, right? And the path is, I want to be a more centered, responsive parent versus a reactive parent. My two choices are I react. Damn it, I just said, leave me alone. Get off of me. Or I take the tiny step, I get up and I remove myself to calm myself. And then I come back. That is a tiny step to align myself with the type of parent I want to be. And this is true for everything. What do you want in your job? What do you want in your career, in your business, in your love life, in your friendships, in your relationship with yourself, in the things you want to manifest? This is what it means to align yourself. You have to integrate these concepts and these ideas, and you have to make them a natural part of who you are. You're building a habit. You're creating a new muscle and working that skill. And every choice is in alignment. Since the chaos started on Saturday and watching my best friends hurt on such a deep level, I'm not taking it on as my own, and I can be there for her when she can barely eat, plus take care of all the storm damage and an injured dog and wondering if she's going to make it. I am staying calm and clear-headed. Good. I took 2 days off to deal with all the tornado debris around me. I have given myself rest and space in between phone calls, my hurting friend, and the dog. Yes. Yes. You listened to your body. Your body's like, girl, this is a lot. We can't keep going. The time off from work, that's huge. That's huge. That's so important because we've been taught like, go, go, go. You have to do all of it. And that becomes an executive functioning nightmare. We're not built to do all of it. But we can hold space without attaching. So for your friend, being able to like empathize and offer support at your energetic level while honoring the fact that you need to take a step back from some other responsibilities, that is so, so important. And that integration is huge. And I saw your property and I saw your post about the dog. And that is some scary shit. that is scary and it's hard to navigate. And I know you've got a lot of other stuff going on too, but that is very powerful, Amy. And I'm so proud of you for one. And that is integration. That is very important. And I think, man, I just want to honor you and see you in that and recognize your growth there and tell you I'm so proud of you. But thank you for sharing that, for being vulnerable in this space. So I want to go ahead and pull an oracle card. I felt very strongly to pull from my Messenger of Spirit deck today. This is by Whitney McNeil. I got this, I think 2 years ago, I got this deck. And it's just a really great deck. It's very straightforward, very easy to read for those that are like newer to Oracle. And Clark, my Oracle guardian, he's pretty funny. He likes to chuck cards. I've literally had cards from this deck end up across the room. It's so funny. So let's see what the energy is inviting us into this week. As we sit into, oh yeah, okay. Seriously, I'm not reading that. Just throw me a bunch of cards. Calm down, dude. Let's like do 1, maybe 3. No. All right. He's very adamant that I take 3. So what are we being invited to this week? So I want to think about integration and like the swirl and the tornado and being in the eye of that and witnessing and observing and then integrating the things that we're watching. So like if you're in the eye of a tornado, think about the movie Twister when they're like, oh, there's a cow. Like you start to point things out, right? And that's what we're doing. That's where I'm at anyway. And staying present with that, even though it's pure chaos, recognizing like in the eye of the storm, you're safe, you're calm, you can be present because you're not on the outside where shit's getting flung, but you're also like this tornado can move and the eye moves. And if we're not present with that, we can then very quickly become part of the shitstorm. Does that make sense? So I want to look at that energy with these cards. Of course, you're going to give them to me all in reverse. Okay. So the first card we got was Divine Timing. And upright, that's all about letting go of your timeline and honoring that things happen in their own time. And like, it's the concept that you don't want to get to the bus stop too early because then you're waiting and doing nothing, but you don't want to get too late because then you're not going to be the bus. You want to arrive right on time so that like, as the bus pulls up, opens the door, you walk on and you go. That's the concept of divine timing. But when it's in reverse, it often means that there's some aspect of, yeah, honey. Yeah, honey. Daddy's at work, sweetie. He'll be home soon. Go watch your movie. I'm finishing this reading. I don't want. Okay. Okay. Hang on just a second. Hey, Runa, I am on this call. Okay. Give me just a few. Oh, she left the door open. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. So divine timing, when it's in reverse, it's often an indicator that we are like we're expecting everything to happen without doing any work, or we're forcing a timeline, or it's kind of like double meaning here. So if you're not doing your part, taking inspired action, aligning your actions, this is where if you're at the eye of the storm and you're not intentionally making choices to observe and you're not being present and grounded in that observation and in that moment to become a witness and to inventory what's going on, and to even just like observe the beauty of it. Because to be honest, like that shit, it's crazy, but it's also very beautiful. Storms are great at showing us what already needed to be cleared out, and showing us what was already strong. And that's really hard to recognize, but it's there. And that's like the glimmer. But divine timing, if we're in the center of the storm, watching the chaos swirl around us, and we're expecting divine timing to do everything for us, that's where you miss the opportunity to move with it and stay in the eye. And that's where I kind of said just a little bit ago that that storm's going to catch up with you and it's going to consume you. You're giving your power away when you don't take inspired action and do what you need to stay aligned. It's like, okay, I know I have two choices, but like eventually spirit's just going to give me a choice, and it will, but it's going to be way more dramatic than if you would have just took the initiative and took the time to do something. The other side of that is micromanaging every single detail, not having faith that things are going to come when you need them. So this often shows up with like finances or that type of stuff where it's like, oh my God, I have to make money because I need to be able to pay for something, because if I don't, then I'm not gonna be able to eat or whatever. Like there's a fine line between I don't have money and I need to survive, I need to buy food. That's one thing. But like, for instance, if you have money in savings and you have a estranged relationship with the flow and understanding, like you have to spend money for money to come back. It is an ebb and flow, like kind of like a river. Rivers, they come and go, but it's always flowing. It's always there. And so if you're not trusting that what you need is going to come when you need it, and you're micromanaging, like this has to go there, this has to look this way, I can't possibly make money any other way except for at my job, and I can't make any more money at my job, you deny yourself all of those possibilities. It's expected and unexpected ways. Does that make sense? And so that's the energy of the divine timing being in reverse, is we're looking at where in the past or even right now, where we are. And again, it just depends on your individual situation, what category you fall into. You're either a couch potato snacking on chips waiting for life to happen for you, and that's bullshit. You have to do something. You are the one living the experience. You have to put something into motion. If you sit on your ass and do nothing, nothing's going to happen. Or are you the one doing everything and trying to micromanage every minute detail? And that's just kind of the energy we're falling into is, and again, that was divine timing in reverse. And then we have the channeler in reverse, which the channeler is all about listening to your body and being intuitive. Your body, we already talked about this, your body gives you signals all the time. Whether you realize it or not, when something is for you, when it is a hard yes, you typically lean in. And you do have these micro sways in your body. And you can actually test that through muscle testing. You can do a sway test where you stand up and down, close your eyes, and you think of something and you're like, do I want a roast beef sandwich today? And I don't eat roast beef, so my body's like, hell no, I just moved backwards. Or do I want a chicken sandwich today? And my body moved forwards. Your body will tell you these things. And if your mind can't shut up, then you can do this divine muscle testing. I actually do this a lot with my clients in one-on-one sessions to see where they're at in terms of emotions that they need to release or anything like that. And so the channeler is letting you know that your body is intuitive. It cannot manipulate you or lie to you, whereas your mind can. But when it's in reverse, that is typically an indication that you're not listening to your body. And you might actually be focusing too much on like the physical side of things. So you're not letting the intuition part of it come forward. You're letting intuition be clouded by other physical aspects, if that makes sense. This falls in line kind of with that part of the divine timing message where you become a micromanager. So you end up forcing things to happen. Your body's requesting silence and stillness and rest, and you're like, nope, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. I got to keep going. You got to listen to your body. If you don't, this period right now is going to be rough. Especially with all the cosmic stuff that's happening. But that goes very, very in alignment with the divine timing. Yeah, so we're just being asked to check back in, to settle back into the intuition of your body, and to let me see what. Yeah, so go back to what those yeses and nos feel like in your body. That's what you're being asked to go back to. So divine timing, are you sitting on your ass and waiting for something, or are you micromanaging? And in terms of what's going on in your world, are you listening, or are you ebbing and flowing between the two like I am? Or are you just flat out ignoring those cues altogether and you're forcing things to happen? That's where your pause is going to come in. So if we talk about the swirl, we're looking at divine timing. If we talk about like the pause, being able to settle in and really like take in the message of this time of the year, this time of the week, this is going to be where you're going to find that pause. And then past lives is kind of what we got for the choice to stay present. So we are actually completing some unfinished business, but that is in reverse. And I'm not too familiar with this one in reverse, so I am going to read the book on that one. So upright, this one's all about breaking cycles, breaking karmic patterns, breaking ancestral patterns. I have to tell you a story with this one because this reminds me of something that happened yesterday. So yesterday I got ready. We went to a playgroup thing, and then we went to our doctor's visit, and then we came home. And I remember getting ready, and I remember looking at myself in the mirror before we left, just to like check things out. Do I look okay? And I remember catching my reflection a couple of times in different places after we left the house, and then throughout the day before I washed my face to go to bed. And I remember thinking several times, like, why do I look like my uncle right now? And I just did not look like me at all. And I thought it was very weird that like my skin wasn't the same. The structure of my face looked very different. And then when I washed my face, everything went back to normal. And when we're doing ancestral healing, or we're doing past life work, or we're working in these cosmic energies, and like literally Mother Nature is helping stir shit up so that we can clear the debris. This is what this transition season is. We're clearing all the stuff that's dead so it can fall and start to decay. So this is actually prep work for next year. And to like keep fertilization going for this spring season. When we're doing this kind of work, it can actually physically show up. You have this off feeling. You have like, man, I felt great 30 seconds ago. Now I'm just like, what the hell? I physically looked different yesterday. I can't prove it to you, but I know when I looked in the mirror, I'm like, why do I look like my uncle right now? And my uncle has passed on, by the way, and I've like connected with him through channeling since he's passed away. So I know like it's very interesting stuff. And so when we're doing that ancestral work, it can physically change our bodies. And that is a really clear indication that you are moving energy that's not just yours. This is not just ours. This is This is the earth's energy. This is ancestral lineage energy. This is collective world energy that's being cleansed and moved out. And no one person can do it all. So we all take a small piece of it. And the piece of it that we take is aligned with what's for us to work on, if that makes sense. So when it's in reversed, so that's if the card is upright, but when it's in reversed, we have to let go. We have to let go and cut the tie with this shit from the past. We can't keep carrying it. It's time. Mother Nature is destroying shit right now with these storms because the earth has been holding on to this dead ass weight. These trees are not nourishing. These the lands that are getting flooded, the whatever, like these things need disruption to let it go, to cut the tie, right? And so maybe you're holding on to an idea. Maybe you're holding on to comfort. This is how I've always had something, so it needs to stay this way. But like maybe you've been feeling an urge to change shit up, and it's like, no, now you need to change it because you waited too long. We gave you the invitation and you waited too long, so we're going to make you change it. It could be a feeling, it could be an idea, it could be a behavior, it could be a thought pattern, but it's time to let them go. And so I find this very well-timed message, given that we just had here in the Midwest, in Michigan, where I'm at, or northern Indiana. We just Sunday we had a storm system roll through that produced a couple of tornadoes, and some folks here in this group were very heavily impacted by that. And we have more storms rolling through today that are supposed to be just as powerful. And so I have seen the debris, both physically and metaphysically. My debris is not physical. I've been fortunate that I have not experienced any physical. I think we've had some trees in the back of our property fall, but in physical reality, I've not seen that. But I am seeing a shit ton of debris in my metaphysical world. And I'm seeing it in all the people I connect with. So that is the Oracle message for today. So divine timing in reverse, channeler in reverse, past lives in reverse. You got to work with divine timing, but it requires us to take action, but not micromanaging. We have to listen to our bodies. And by listen, I mean like do what it's asking you to do. If your body's asking for rest, rest. If your body's asking for more nourishment, nourish it. If your body's asking for more water, drink some more goddamn water. In fact, water is your best friend right now, especially with lemon and a little bit of salt, maybe a teensy bit of baking soda. It helps with electrolytes. You need them right now. Trust me on this one. And then past lives, you got to let it go. It's time. It's asking, it's begging for you to cut the cord. Let it go. All right. How is that message landing for everyone? I will take a picture of these and post them here after the call. All right. So to end today's call, I'm going to do a short meditation. I am going to step out of the room very briefly to let Runa know that I am going to be giving the meditation. So hopefully I can prevent her from coming in. This is the part that I definitely don't want any interruptions. If you need to prep your space, go ahead and do that now. Make any notifications, put your phones and laptops and whatever on do not disturb. If you want to lay down, if you want to sit, grab a cup of water, a journal, grab those things now, and I'll be right back in just a moment to do that meditation for you. Okay. Let's see which one of these do I feel like using today. I'm gonna try to play my bowls. I don't know if y'all will be able to hear them or not. But this one will be a good one. All right. So let's start by closing down the eyes and just begin to become the observer. Observe your breath. Is it in your chest or your belly? Is it shallow or is it deep? Is it fast or is it slow? Don't judge it. Don't control it. Just observe. Now I'd like to invite you to deepen this breath pattern, to breathe in through your nose, breathing in life force, golden light energy, letting it travel down into your body, filling every space within you. Let it expand, let it stretch, let it fill you and radiate through you. And on each exhale, let that breath exit out your mouth into the cosmos, letting the wind of the storm take what isn't serving you, what is holding you back, creating tension or darkness within you. Release the expectation that you need to do more. Each inhale brings that golden light in to attach to those expectations, those limits, those motives that aren't rooted deeply in at your core and who you are. Hayati soro foya kamaya dioro shora fora pokoi. Ayatakai monarato kai shiro kaya payo. Holadaya mora kyoto kayata. Nana siyoto kaya. Morai toroko kaya satai. Take one more light-filled breath into the space, collecting any remaining pressure, any remaining doubt, darkness, anything that is holding you back from letting this moment just be enough, for letting life today just be enough. The future hasn't happened, the past is gone. What matters is what's here right now. If it doesn't serve you right now, let it go. With this space now clear, I'd like you to imagine, feel, know, however it works for you, a grounded presence, a softness, an etherealness. I I, 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 I. What does this soft presence bring you? What does it offer you? Let it gently wrap around you, move through you with each gentle breath. Oh, 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 yatta, yoko yato, ma, yatta, iko yota, yatoro apoya, iyo, Sayo. Yeah, yeah. Allow yourself to anchor deeply into this moment, free of the pressures to do more, wrapped in the gentle softness of just being. Open yourself to the magic and the wisdom of divine timing, inviting yourself to take inspired action when it is needed, ensuring it is aligned with where you want to go and doesn't take you away from that destination. Trust your body. Listen to her wisdom, her grace. Honor her. And let everything go. We no longer have to carry these burdens. We no longer have to let decaying, unhealthy systems, beliefs, ideas, they don't have to carry forward with us. Empty them. Unload them from your backpack. Let them fall. Falling does not mean that's failure. That turns into organic matter for the seeds you're planting. You are not behind. You are in the eye of something powerful. Let the ribbons dance. Let the swirl happen. And trust that you're integrating in ways that you can't see yet. Gently bring yourself back to your body. Let each noise you hear wake you back up and bring you to your space. Feel the temperature on your skin, the weight of your body on your chair, and gently bring movement with wiggles of your fingers and toes, waking yourself up back to this space. As you wake up, you may take some time to journal. If you were unable to make it through the whole meditation, I encourage you to catch the replay, to share it with your friends. If you need support, I offer integration sessions. You can drop comments or questions in the post in the group on Facebook or in YouTube, and I'm happy to answer those. You can send me an email. When we share our experiences and our stories, we deepen our connection. We amplify the power of the work that we're doing. And we also feed Mother Earth, because as our energy rises, as our frequency expands, we connect with her directly, especially when we go outside barefoot. And so everything that you're doing, everything you're experiencing, all the growth, all the expansion, all the integration, it is working. And you're going to look back a month,
6 months, a year from now, and you're going to see all the magical ways that these storms are transforming your world. And I am very blessed that I get to be a part of that journey with you. Thank you very much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Illumination and love.